And let's dive straight into the Awakening Master Guide signature setups. Of course, we prepared examples literally 2021, like not even prepared, but we did them even back then live. 2022, now you have 2023 examples. Nuts. It's just, again, you see how it is literally year after month after day, every week it's the same stuff. It doesn't matter, right? So but let's dig into Friday 13th of January in GU. Right, what a surprise. It's always the same, right? So what do we have in here? First and foremost, again, we have a huge trending forming in here, making everyone excited. Already they're getting stopped out slowly, and this pullback is creating, of course, also sellers. But what's important for us? The most important for us is, again, as you learned, Asia range in here, right? What did Asia range do all the session? They did anything, right? First, I had a slight inducement high, right? Perfect. To get what? Obviously, trick people in longs, taking out sellers, and then the rest of the session, they just literally building a short trend in here, right? And then, of course, they're reacting from sort of imbalance fills in here as well. After everyone is getting short, they're filling the imbalance, and then they move away from that. And then the same thing now. So starting Frankfurt and obviously end of Asia, what do? Right, everyone is short. They mitigated their purposes, or like their imbalances, fulfilled their purposes, and now we have a nice channel upwards, a trend forming to the long side, right? And of course, what is a price inducement out of break out of Asia high, and also an inducement, a medium inducement, as this is again previous day's high, it looks like, right? So of course we have the medium inducement right here. So this takes it out with what is the timing? Obviously London open box perfection, right? So then again in here, if you look for real and breaker structures, it's not really clean as it's everything down here. You should not take just like a one little candle in here. So it's better just to wait, make it a little bit clearer. And now, as you can see, it's not pretty sure if they made equal highs here, or like if this slightly took it out. It doesn't really matter too much, as now at least you know, okay, this is my medium inducement after they literally brought in everyone and the neighbor for the long sides, right? Again, with the huge trend being formed, the breakout and another breakout out of this zone in here, right? And obviously we're in perfect time window. So everything just screams until this play could be done, and we could have a nice potential signature setups to the downside in here, right? But again, you should not prematurely jump in. It's just better to understand the overall picture. For understanding the overall picture, you should also look to the more left, not only in the previous day, but also maybe this had a significant impact to price action as well. So let's do that quick, right? So if we check, for example, okay, we are right here in this day, right? So we see, okay, we have a medium inducement. Nice. This was also some sort of equal highs in here, right? So this is even nicer for the medium inducement, as it took it out once again, right? But what is going on here? This point in here, right here, right? Again, it is, first of all, you see this huge wick with news, which if you can see it properly in the recording here, right? First of all, again, what is the price? Asia range, liquidity getting created, false break of structure, inducement at Frankfurt open in this case, smashes Asia low. What is the price? Asia range, induced low, right? Induced medium structure points in here, right? Obviously high, and now we have the same thing. Isn't that crazy, right? Asia range, inducement high, medium inducement to expect what? Short side, right? But again, now we obviously have to also combine the proper more price action understanding, as it can't be like up and down all the time, as it would be completely ranging price action for like eternity, right? So obviously it has to move in one direction at some point. When does it do it? When there's a proper medium inducement at some point. For example, we had it here, right? We had a structure point in here, news took it out, and then price action even came lower once again to take out even the news wick. So again, there's zero buyers possible in this whole scenario. There's no bias. Even if buyers, whatever, got in here, and here, and here, and here, they're all getting stopped out again with this wick. So again, there's no bias in here. If there's any bias, again, they jumped in later here, maybe even here, right? Again, with the imbalance fills in here, makes sense, right? So guess what? Now we have a medium inducement high. So it could definitely make a lot of sense to take them out and then trade away from this medium inducement overall and push price higher, right? So again, you have to learn to think in these processes and this chess master level of thinking. Okay, they prepare the moves, they set up the move, they obviously get people in the wrong direction, they give them the reasons, they create everything step after step, and you have to learn to think a few steps ahead of how we just did it in here. So with the overall understanding that this is the better, most significant medium inducement scenarios, again, no one can be buying these scenarios other than in these areas or like obviously here. Now we have a medium inducement to high side, expect inducement low. Once again, this was also fulfill our signature trade in our setup in here where we have the Asia range, getting induced to the high side, medium inducement, take a good for at least Asia low, and also getting buyers out once again, inducing low once again to go higher overall. So with that place already mined, first we have to analyze the market step by step, right? We also seen here there's no imbalances areas in here to expect price to tag in here and for potential reversal trade, right? So we can't just pick a random POI as everything is mitigated. Here's mitigated. There's no imbalances in all these price action. So all we can expect is an inducement low of Asia low, getting all the buyers out once again, and then maybe look for potential re-entries, and then obviously expect price to go higher. But first, we have this scenario fulfilling the complete signature scenario with London Open inducement, breakout of Asia, medium inducement, right? So we only need a relevant break of structure to take the shorts, but we want to trade away from the medium inducement overall, okay? So signature scenario done. Expect the shorts, take out Asia low, no imbalances, so we can't really take any trades in here, or we get other confirmations, but then we want to trade away from this medium inducement and then obviously get higher. That's what we have in here. So we wait, and obviously, again, we covered it already, we have the massive trend building up liquidity to induce everyone and the sister to the long side, right? We called all the reasons already. Then what is a price? You get this relevant break of structure, okay, depending on if this point took out these highs once again. At this scenario, again, it should be pretty clear anyways, right? So again, what can you do? Trading away from the London medium inducement, also taking out Asia high, medium liquidity, perfect liquidity creation before that. Timing is absolutely perfect as well. Target is pretty nice as well with this Asia low just hanging in there, right? Which also was the small money trap, which made everyone excited, started the moves in here. So that's huge liquidity point as well. So we wait for the relevant break of structure. And as you learn in the signature setup scenarios, we just need a medium inducement mitigation. Do we have imbalances also? Yes, we have, right? Just a little bit though, but it's completely fine. And again, we can trade the medium inducement mitigation after a relevant break of structure, meaning after a medium inducement, after we have a fulfilled signature scenario, after London place, creation of liquidity the wrong side, right? So once we had everything of that, price gave us our absolute juicy mitigation entry, probably even some nicer point of interest in the M1 in here, right? If you're getting more experienced. So guess what happened after that? Of course, it just smoked through the Asia low liquidity and target hit, just chooped straight into it. All the buyers are technically out now, but again, it's the opposite way around. People now, okay, maybe they're getting into the short slowly but surely, right? Because again, everyone from the buy side is taken out. Look at this huge momentum, right? Again, another breakout zone. The only nice, not so nice thing for us is that there's no imbalance point of interest. So we have to wait for additional confirmations to trade away from this medium inducement overall we had the previous day. Okay. But yeah, I hope this is pretty clear why we had this tube down there. and we can continue this play even, right? So we're not done. So target is technically hit for our shorts, and what a juicy, beautiful trade it was. And you've probably even seen here, we had some multiple re-entries in here as well, right? Boom, boom. Absolutely perfect, right? But we're just talking about this overall first entry signature scenario in here. All right, so target for Asia low is hit. So now we want to trade away from the medium inducement to the long side. We just can't randomly take a reversal trade. So of course we need some potential more clarification in terms of price action. So all we do is wait. Remember this quote good. You're not paid to trade, you're paid to wait for the right scenarios, for the right price action, and then you execute. So you're paid to wait. Be very patient until you see, for example, something like this. Okay, so now you see the build of liquidity sideways. Okay, so you already learned if you get an inducement, you want to trade away from it, right? As you don't have any point of interest in here, you can expect for mitigation to tap in. You have to wait for something like this. Creation of building liquidity, right? And then boom, out of a sudden, look at this. A tube to the downside of inducing the liquidity once again to the short side. So this is another inducement of liquidity. We already hit our target of Asia low. There's not really any more targets in here, and obviously we don't expect this medium inducement to get taken out. We want to trade away from that overall. And we had our signature trade in here trading to the short side, right? So perfect. So we can expect this to be the final inducement for price action to be done, as we are already into these demand areas in here, right? And we want to trade away from the medium inducement. Okay, so this is the last impulse for sellers, and for us, the last confirmation for the inducement after this little build up in here to maybe price action is done. So what do you wait for as you learn with the signature setups in here, right? You wait for what? A relevant break of structure. I drew it a little purely here, so it probably should be more like in here, right? So depending on the price is like here, so not obviously up here, so it should be the relevant break of structure in here, as this push led to the inducement once again, right? So again, we had the inducement. Doesn't really matter until it would make a relevant break of structure in here. Didn't give it. Made another point of another push lower, and this creates the relevant break of structure. So again, always remember, let's say we have this liquidity zone in here. Let's just, for example, induce it to the low side, right? It doesn't matter if it pulls back in here and then makes this and makes this and make this and make this and make this. We just wait again after we know, okay, this technically is the inducement. We just want for the next relevant break of structure, and then we can trade the mitigation of the inducement, right? So again, keep that in mind. You just don't randomly just jump in here and then maybe risk an L in here. You wait for the relevant break of structure to lock in the inducement additionally. It's much more safer. Again, the more you're getting experience, the more you look to the left as well. This is the relevant break of structure can become optional, but as you're starting out, yes, you're learning the basics, it's learning one significant signature setup, you should stick to that, and only when you're getting more experienced, then you can get more aggressive. But for now, learn it with the relevant break of structure. Okay, so with us having the relevant break of structure, again, guess what? What do we do next? Right, we have the perfect liquidity buildup. We have another inducement. We have technically demand areas with no imbalances in here. We will have our medium inducement we want to trade away from, right? So absolutely perfect. So we have our demand areas in the inducement, so inducement mitigation, right? So probably nicer points of interest in the M1. I will not dig into that right now, right? So guess what? The moment you give the relevant break of structure, taps in here, right? So this could be already done for the M5 place, as again, this zone is just as big. Okay, it is what it is, but it's just understanding of you knowing what's going on, as we had the build up or the building of liquidity, an inducement to a low side, something to the left, medium inducement also you want to trade away from, right? And obviously can't trade away from that now. So guess what? Boom, nicer relevant break of structures now, if you like them better. What's so nice about that, as we're trading away from the inducement once again, right? So again, what's so nice about that? Maybe a little hint in here, what's going on here? We know something called order flow, right? We have another relevant break of structure, right? So what can we expect? Order flow mitigation, And look how juicy that is. They creating new liquidities with the 1, 2, 3 bottom in here, right? Absolutely amazing, right above this imbalance zone as well, giving us our perfect order flow mitigation in these areas. So guess what? Absolutely Mona Lisa scenario in here, right? Inducement into mitigation of order flow away from the intraday inducement, which is this in here, away from the medium inducement of yesterday, which is in here. And we already had our fulfilling signature scenarios in here. And again, you also could argue, okay, this is also the equal highs in here, which you can aim for as well. And the day ended off, what a surprise, with this absolutely beautiful tube. And then obviously the day ends like this. So the same thing as always, you wait for the next day to create Asia and then probably taking out these plays in here. But for the day, the intraday, this price action is here. As you see, the timing is getting very late, and the next day is about to start, but it ended off with this beautiful, beautiful tube. You can see it in his face in here. Absolutely gorgeous.